The Project of the Year Maritime Award recognizes excellence in a civil engineering maritime project on Long Island. This year's award recipient is the replacement of Long Wharf for the village of Sag Harbor. Located on the South Fork of Long Island, in the village of Sag Harbor, Long Wharf is a local icon that was originally constructed in the late 1700s. From birthing whaling ships to being the site of torpedo testing operations in the 1920s, and a Grumman aerospace plant that manufactured parts used on the Apollo Lunar Service Module Eagle, Long Wharf has a rich history. The wharf has been owned by many entities over time, and in December 2012, the village of Sag Harbor purchased the wharf from Suffolk County for $1. At the time of the purchase, the wharf was in a condition that required significant refurbishment. Beginning in 2016, P.W. Grosser Consulting Engineers and Hydrogeologists PC worked as the sole consultant to design and oversee the construction of improvements to rehabilitate the wharf. The objectives were to enhance public access, functionality, and the pedestrian environment, as well as to improve aesthetics, public safety, and water quality, all while preserving the traffic flow and parking on the wharf. These objectives were achieved by the following: installation of 1,215 linear feet of steel sheeting to reconstruct the bulkhead, development of a 10-foot wide pedestrian promenade constructed of Ipe tropical hardwood and a handrail around the perimeter of the wharf, regrading the site to collect stormwater in a drainage collection system, with the water being treated in a hydrodynamic separator stormwater treatment unit before being discharged to the harbor, installation of bollard lighting to enhance public safety at nighttime, addition of a 40-foot long and 80-foot wide open gathering space at the end of the wharf with electrical outlets integrated into the bollard lighting to allow for public events and concerts to take place, addition of a dual-port electric vehicle charging station, and 2 dedicated electric vehicle parking spaces, installation of 2 marina pedestals that provide single-phase and 3-phase electric services to yachts. Chesterfield Associates, Inc., based in West Hampton Beach, was awarded the project in a public bid in the summer of 2019. In September 2019, construction at the site began with the primary focus to install the steel sheeting prior to March 1st to be in compliance with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers permit requirements, which stated that no in-water work could take place from March 1st to June 30th of each year. The installation of the sheeting was completed on time, with the project reaching substantial completion in July 2020. Congratulations to the entire team for winning the 2021 Project of the Year Maritime Award.
Hello everybody, this is Jim LaRocca. I'm the mayor of Sag Harbor, a very small village with a very big project that we were able to accomplish over the last year or so, last couple of years, and that was to renew the Long Wharf at the top of the village, or at the end of our main street. And there has been a wharf at that location since 1707 in one form or another. It is the focal point of village life, and it was the focal point of commercial, transportation, communications, all of the things that connected this little fishing village to the outside world. When the early days of Europeans in this community began, they took account of the most logical location for such a departure point. And by the time of the Civil War, there was a railroad that came out of New York, the Long Island Railroad to Southampton, New York, then had a connector over here to Sag Harbor. You could even go out on the pier, out on the wharf with the railroad cars, until one fine day the whole thing collapsed under the weight of the railroad cars, and that created some excitement for the mayor of that era. In the time I've been in office, what we found was we hadn't really given our attention to the wharf in a very long time, probably a century worth of catch-up to do. And we undertook a project that the more we uncovered, the more we had to deal with. But we had some very good engineers, some very good village officials and leaders, particularly in public works and highways. And over time, we were able to rebuild it, to expand it a little bit wider, along the edges so that we could make it fully ADA compliant for pedestrians. Our waterfront is now connecting with other parts of the waterfront via a series of paths and promenades and connectors, and all of it is, with this job, going to be ADA compliant. It is completed on the Wharf side. On the adjacent Steinbeck Park, we are, as I speak to you today, working on the boardwalk for there. So a lot has happened. It is still a central focal point of life here because our tourist and recreation environment and economy looks for it. Our boating industry, which flourishes on the waterfront and brings us literally thousands of visitors a year, is parked along that. Some of the biggest yachts in the Northeast come in here every now and then. We haven't had one yet that's bigger than the Wharf, but at the rate these things seem to be growing, we may see that one of these days. In any event, the honor you confer on us with this recognition by the American Society is really very special to us. It's nice to be noticed. It's nice to be acknowledged for work well done. My thanks to you for the award on behalf of this community. My thanks to all of the people who worked on it. And we salute you for saluting this small village for this accomplishment. And perhaps we'll have this discussion again in sooner than another 100 years. But we appreciate it very much and wish all the best to all of the members. I've worked with this group when I was Commissioner of Transportation for the state. I think that's when I got to know a lot of the firms in the state and the folks, and it's fun to be back in this business at this small scale in this village. So thank you again, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.